Hi, my apologies today because I had logged in at 3:30, but there was some issue with the microphone and I recorded it. I was on the way and it's only now I am back. So I am now logging in from the computer. My apologies for that. Yeah, so today I am going to be answering, it's an extension of yesterday's video because I had a lot of questions coming in yesterday on my, the inbox, the privately. People had lots of questions with regards to yesterday's video where I said that, where I gave an example of, you following, see, a truck with which is emitting a lot of smoke. So if you compare life with that, how do you deal with life problems? And yesterday I had mentioned that there were three ways to deal with it. One was that, if you're behind that truck, you could just be following it and keep cribing about the smoke. Another one could be you could slow down and let the truck go by so that you create a distance between you and the truck, so the impact of the smoke is less. And the third is you overtake it. Now, the when you compare this with the life, I said overtaking is going to be the best solution, and that is where the questions came. How can you overtake a problem, and how could you, solve it? Can you explain with a real life example? So here I'm giving you the real life example of how to, overtake the problems instead of getting attached to them or instead of getting stuck to them. Okay, my client who was, who had abusive father. So when she was in her upbringing years, she saw that her father was, the way her father treated her mother, it was, she used to get so angry and her mother could not do anything about it. So all through, she was seeing that the way her father was treating her mother, she developed lot of feeling of insecurities with regards to her dad, and she used to hate that feeling of insecurity. So at some point in time, when she was growing up, she thought, once she gets married, she's going to get rid of her father. How much, she used to feel bad for her mother, but she thought, she wants to create her own life. So at least, father she can get rid of. And because she was in such a desperate need to have that kind of a family where there is a feeling of love, there is security, there is sense of belonging, so she decided to marry at quite an early age, and she got married at the age of 19. And when she got married, very soon, at about six after about 6 months of marriage, guess what she realized? She realized that her husband was exactly like her father. Okay, abusive, not caring, not loving enough. He was actually, but then the part that she was seeing was this part, which was the dominant part for her. And she also saw, because she's got married in a joint family, she also saw that her father-in-law was also exactly like her dad. So the relationship between her father and mother-in-law was, uh, again, that of lot of abuse from the father-in-law's side. Now, if you go back to yesterday's video, one way to deal with the problem is just let the situation be. You can crib, you can cry, you can say that this is your destiny, you can say this is your karma, and let your whole life go by in crying as to what did you not get. Another way to deal with the problem which I mentioned yesterday was just, be indifferent about it, wherein I said maintain that distance with that truck so that the smoke doesn't impact you. So solving the problem from the second perspective would be just be indifferent about it, and you tend to live your life, right? Don't bother about it and just continue with the way you wish to live your life. But then I also mentioned that if this is what you do, then you can't be avoiding certain people, certain situations, because they are there to give you certain lessons. You learn your lessons and then move on. You will be able to deal with those kind of situations. You will not even attract those kind of people ever again. So the third way to deal with the problem is when I said overtake that truck which is emitting smoke. Now, if you take the example of this woman, who had this kind of family when she got married, for her overtaking the problem would mean one thing. Okay, overtaking the problem would be Let me explain with again an example here. Now, if this is you who's got stuck, let's assume that this is you who has got stuck, and or say your neighbor has got stuck, and you're watching this girl who got married, who came into this family, and how she is being treated, or what is she going through in terms of, she came from the abusive family and she has landed herself in a family where father-in-law and husband are both abusive. Now this girl comes to you, right? Now imagine that this girl is your neighbor, and this girl comes to you crying that this is what has happened. So when she is talking to you, you are listening very objectively. You are not getting drowned in the problem along with her. You're looking from a third person's perspective. You're looking as if you're the one who is the mentor, as if you're the one who is the guide, okay, or the teacher. You listen to her problem, and then you tend to give her the advice in terms of what is it that she needs to be doing, right? Now this is exactly what you need to do. That when you are having, when this client of mine, when she was facing this, she had to distance herself. She became that neighbor as if it was somebody else's family that was going through this problem. So when she looked at from this third person's perspective, she was not getting carried away by the emotions. She was not getting carried away by that experience, which you normally tend to get carried away when you are in the situation. And then the advice that you would give to your neighbor in that case is the advice that you yourself will follow. So this client of mine, she would just distance herself, okay, look at the situation like she's watching a movie. She's watching herself there, and she's giving herself that advice, and that is the advice she is following. When you do this, this means you are overtaking the problem, because now you're not getting married to the problem, but you're, just objectively looking at it. Now when you do this, this is how you will start to um, move or get to the path which is going to ultimately take you to solving the problem. That is what it means when I said yesterday that it is about overtaking the truck which is emitting smoke, overtaking the problem. So it does not mean that she has left the problem the way it is. She's attending to it, but from the perspective of the third party, which is then going to make her to see what that path is that is going to help her to deal with the problem. Okay, this is what I meant by overtaking the truck, overtaking the problem. Okay, now this is something which I had a lot of questions on, so I thought this one example would help you understand what how I have tried to explain this. And still, should you have any questions, please feel free to write, and I will connect with you tomorrow at 3:30. And sorry for the goof up today because of the technology factors. So technology is great on one hand, but sometimes it doesn't support you as much as you want its support. So that's it from me to you today, and I am going to be seeing you tomorrow. In case this is something which you need more help with, let me know. I will cover this in tomorrow's video. You take care. Thank you and bye.